Okay, so the topic of today's video is a little different than what I normally do. So, I mean, it's kind of in the same realm of the same usual stuff I talk about, like self-improvement, mental health stuff, but it's kind of on a different turn. And in a way, I kind of mean this literally, because today's topic is about the importance of traveling and how it affects your mental health. So, for the longest time, I hadn't really been anywhere out of state since like maybe 2022. I had gone to Delaware to see some family friends, and that was like over the course of the summer, I think. We went for 5 days. After that, I don't think I left the state a single time up until these past 2 days. Or no, actually, sorry. Scratch that. I hadn't actually left Maine and been out of the state until March. I went back to Delaware a few days ago. And that's where I've been in these past 2 days. But the last time I left the state prior to this trip that I just got back from was in March. So like I was talking about before, I hadn't really left Maine until this past March. I'd kind of just kept it local, kind of stayed in the same range that I'd always been, the same few areas, and I think the furthest I had really been was like Portland, which is 2 hours south of me, or technically speaking it would be Kittery, which is like 3 hours south, and it's right on the border. But anyways, since that time, I'd kind of felt trapped almost. I'd spent so much time just in the same area, and that just kind of felt like all my world was. It didn't really feel like there was anything more than just the area that I live in. Just the small little town in the middle of Maine. That's all it felt like. The globe and everything else and a part of it just seemed to feel like a fairy tale. Because, you don't see that and whatnot. And it starts to just, I don't know, feels like you're trapped in the cage almost. Feels like you're confined to always go so far. And I feel like a part of that is my fault. A part of that is my fault for feeling confined, because I didn't make an effort to go anywhere else new. And when you broaden your horizons and see new things and go somewhere new, I feel like your mental health kind of just goes upwards. I can't think of the health hormone or the happiness hormone or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. You just feel better. You feel generally happier. You get this sense of euphoria. Like, you're in a new environment that you haven't been to before. You're seeing something new, and you're out of your cage. Like, I felt like I was in a zoo, almost. Because I'd been in the same span of, 30 miles for well over a year and hadn't gone much further, if anything. And trapping yourself like that really does a lot to your mental health, honestly. Seeing the same stuff every single day, over and over and over again. I mean, like, that's generally life. But when you don't go and explore once in a while, like, it takes a toll on you, honestly. Like, it affected me big time. I felt more depressed, I guess. Just doing the same thing over and over again. And never really giving myself a chance to breach out and see something more than what was just around here. It's nice. So, me and one of my friends went to Manchester, New Hampshire in March. And we also went to Portsmouth. And those are about 4 to 5 hours away from me. And just being out of it, just being out of state, it helps you, like, understand how much more to the world there really is than the stuff you see every day. It helps you understand how big the world really is when you're seeing more things. How much more there is out there than the things you see every day. Because when you see the same stuff over and over again, you kind of convince yourself in a way that there's nothing else out there. That the world you live in and that you see every day is all that really exists. But that couldn't be further from the truth. When I went around to Manchester, like, me and my friend Ethan, who went with me, we got on these like electric scooters that you could rent out for the day, and we just bombed around the city, honestly. Just drove around for God knows how long in those things, cruising by traffic and just getting the rush of wind in your face. And it was a perfectly sunny day, perfectly clear out, and we're just seeing new things that we haven't seen before. The thing that also made this trip special was that it was spontaneous. Sure, it was like 4 to 5 hours away, and my friend had literally just Ethan had just literally gotten back from Boston like 2 days prior to this trip. But I texted him and I was just like, yo, you want to go on a trip? And he's like, where? And I was just kind of like, I don't know, somewhere. And you know, that's the beauty of it. Not knowing where you're headed. Going on trips that you have no real destination. Just driving. And then stumbling upon something you've never seen before. It's ethereal, honestly. It really is. Like, not really having anything planned. Having an open book to whatever happens, you know? I need to take more trips like that, because that's this type of stuff that really opened my mental health and like kind of started to put me back on the right path. It helped me just understand, like, you can go 4 to 5 hours east of you, and in that time frame, you'll see so many new things that you never knew were there. And that feeling is just like, it's incredible, honestly. I had never really done a spontaneous trip like that. And you know something? I hope this summer I get some more in. A goal I've made for myself this summer is actually to see one new place every week. It doesn't have to be across the country or in a different country or 3 hours away or anything like that. It can be somewhere around me I haven't seen before that's like 20 minutes away. Because I guarantee you, as long as I've lived here all my life, there's still plenty of places that I don't know about. I'm sure there's plenty of things that I still haven't seen. And they might not be very big, but you know, that's okay. Because it's a new experience, and it's something new for your brain to process. And this kind of also, this seeing new things habit kind of helps with other things too. For example, like, something I try to do often is I'll try to read in my room. And now this never works because I feel like I can easily get into my head and think about other things instead of locking into my book. And that makes so much sense, honestly, because whenever I go somewhere else, somewhere outside and just like in nature, I feel like I can read so much easier. I can get engaged into my book and just really wrap my mind around what's actually happening on the pages, and I can shut out the thoughts that I have in my mind. Because, again, when you're trying to do new things, but you're not putting yourself in a new environment, it's kind of like insanity in a sense. You do the same thing over and over again with a little mix of something different and expect a different result. That's not going to happen. The definition of insanity, like I just said, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, it's not going to happen. If I try to read and lock in my book in my room, it's not going to happen. I can't do it. I can't focus. Same honestly goes with journaling. Now, with journaling, I can do this a little bit easier because I control my thoughts and what I want to go on the paper. It's not like I'm forced to digest the words that are already written down. With journaling, my creativity is open to whatever I want to write down and to whatever I'm thinking about. So it's easier to do it in my room. But I feel like when I go somewhere else, again, I'm able to just put more down on the paper. I'm able to think about things that in my room I wouldn't have had in my mind. You know what I mean? It's just different experiences, man. They have more of an impact on you than you might realize. So I guess the moral for today's video, go outside, breathe air, see something new. Don't do the same things over and over and over and over again for the rest of your life. You gotta mix it up. Because if you always have the same routine and do the same things over and over again, the same thing is gonna happen each day. What happened the day before is probably gonna happen again. You know, some little different things will happen, of course. But the general gist of what I'm trying to say is having that same kind of routine over and over and over again and waiting for something else to happen, it's just not gonna happen. And I guess in that sense, what I'm also saying is like, just experience something new. Do yourself a favor. Because if you go outside and just sit out there for a while, and this isn't something you normally do, go sit in your backyard. Get a chair and just soak in nature. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to be on your phone, your laptop, watch TV, or anything like that. Just go take a chair, get in your backyard, and just embrace the world around you. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in wanting so much more in life when honestly it's so easy to forget about the little things that are there. The little things that are all around you. Go outside and, you know, breathe air. Breathe real air. And, you know, take advantage of the world around you because you don't get to experience this forever. The world around you is not going to exist forever, and you're not going to be able to see it forever. See these plants, these trees, the sun, the sky, like, embrace it. Like, and just go outside, get outside of your house, get out of your musty, gross ass room, and just breathe air, man. Breathe the real earth air that we have on this planet. Because it's not there forever, and we don't have all of our lives. We don't have 200, 300, 1,000 more years. Some of us have 70, 60, 50, even less than that left to go. And those years, the more they count down, the faster by they go. The older you get, the more the days are going to pass you by. And you're not going to have as much time as you thought to enjoy the things around you. And enjoying new things around you and getting new experiences doesn't mean just, you know, going outside. It can mean something as simple as getting a meal in. You know, coming back from the gym or work or whatever and just eating something. That's nothing big, but it's something, you know. It's something to indulge in. And that's something I feel like I've taken, you know, like, I feel like I've kind of grown to appreciate more. Just being able to get a meal in, just being able to eat and drink water, you know? Just being able to consume the products that the earth has provided us. Just being a part of it. You know? If you're afraid to go meet somebody new today, just do it anyway. Because I guarantee you, once you do it once, you're going to want to do it over and over and over again. Go talk to that girl that you've been wanting to talk to for so long. I need to take this advice. Shit. Go approach somebody new. Go do something different. Go live. Go be happy. Don't be a miserable person. Don't look for the bad in everything. See the good in everything, because as much as there is bad in everything, there's also good in everything. And it's so much easier to see the bad in everything. But if you look for the good in everything, your life is going to be much better. And experiencing new things is only going to make it so much easier for you to get the positives out of life and see the good in things. Now, I know I kind of jumped in different directions there, but all of that kind of just like, it goes into one little topic. That being to just experience new things. Do something you don't normally do today. Do one little thing new every day that you don't typically do. And whatever new thing it is today, don't let it be the same thing tomorrow. Just something. Something different. That's all it takes. That's all for today. And stay blessed.